Fighting outnumbered in quads can be absolutely brutal. Players play tight, so you have to be ready to react fast. Today I want to go in depth with a full breakdown, highlighting a ton of tips to help you fight outnumbered. I also want to show you how I fight side by side in a duo. We're going to practice knowing when to stop gunfights, predictive positioning, escape tactics, and more. If you've never seen the situational report before, we are going to dissect an entire gameplay and review decision making. Today's main focus is about becoming the ultimate wingman. And my wingman of choice is the Sneaky Snake. Stick around to see what Snake pulls off in today's endgame. Let's get into the gameplay. So remember, today's focus is to learn the wingman mentality, which means we're going to be working together but not directly on top of each other throughout most of the game. I'm also going to be doing a little bit more pausing today so we can break down key decisions that I think are going to make you better at playing outnumbered. In this scenario here, we just got an LMG, we landed in fresh, and we heard footsteps. So we're using the copy machine to hold as much cover as possible as we take out this enemy. We're not on the filing cabinet hiding in the corner, but we're not pushing out in the open because we don't have an SMG. As soon as that gunfight's over, we're escaping out the backside of the window and we're checking our corners. We're making sure that there's no one there, and we are going to be in search of plates and that SMG, which we do find along with 2 booby traps. We're going to move up the steps, replate, and then we're going to be reloading in the protection of cover. We wanted to be, again, sweeping that area and making sure that there are no enemies because we hear footsteps right on the other side of this door. Now, we're going to use those booby traps for my favorite trigger. We're not sitting on them because we have shots downstairs. A very critical thing here is as soon as you see your teammate go down and you are in a tight area, you do not have the advantage because, again, you are in a 4v2 scenario, possibly more. There's definitely more than one team here, and you're going to see that as this plays and how we get out of this situation. But in the meantime, this is a great time to execute the nope moment, which we talk about all the time, and it's we cannot win this gunfight. So we are moving upstairs and back to where we just laid those booby traps. We're reloading the weapon, resetting the gunfight, and we're baiting with those shots because we want players to push us. We're down to 2 seconds on the respawn timer. Snake is back in the game. I am leaning towards those booby traps and I'm listening for sounds. See, as the footsteps got closer, I swing towards the window. And a crucial part here is we have an enemy player that's pushed out with him. So at this moment, we have broken enemy 1's camera. And now we are pushing through and we do not have the opportunity here to get shots on this guy. So the safest place to go is either over the railing or through the window, and through the window gives me way more places to use the blind, which we talked about in our escape artist video last week. So we're going to take that and we're going to be shifting into cover onto the left hand side so that if he's chasing, he has as little opportunity to get shots on as I'm going through the series of blinds that I'm about to do. I already have my route. So we see a critical piece of information here. We know that an enemy just flew in on the roof and we have that on our radar. We are also on a UAV, which is indicated by the red border. The shots are coming left to right, which means those 2 teams are not the same, which means we are the third party and we don't have plates in. So this is a perfect time, again, to execute our nope moment and turn back around and flank the enemy that we're seeing the shots originate from, which we're going to do here. He is doing the exact same things as he's taking shots from the other enemy on the roof, and we are not able to get to him thanks to an awesome mantling system. We just got our first trigger off those booby traps that I said that I love. We use them as indicators to remember a position where players are normally frequenting, and once we get the second notification here, we go ahead and forget the zombie guy and push down into the main scanner room, checking right and then left and utilizing that cover swing to take out the enemy. Use your equipment to the best of your ability so that you're constantly getting the information that you need in order to successfully push multiple players. Now, Snake and I are not together. I see that he is in the path of the precision airstreak, which I am also getting a notification for. He also has broken plates. I need to be very careful about what I do next to make sure that we don't get taken out of this game. And one of the most critical things that duos do in a quad gameplay is they try to be the MVP, constantly pushing for all the kills and hyper aggressive. And while that is important to get higher kill games. Learning the skill set that I'm trying to teach today is all about using the wingman system. And if your teammate is in duress and you can't help them, the best thing you can do is play smarter. We don't need to sit in a corner. We just don't need to make bad plays. So what we do here is we push up to hold any exit from the snake, and we go ahead and swing on this guy, but we don't have ammo. We're going to back off that fight, and Snake is able to recover due to the plates. Now, whether or not we had any play in that, the idea though is we're still playing safe so that if he were to go down, we're not out of the game. I'm holding from their push on the guy that I just broke. Unfortunately, I hang out too long, and the guy flanks me through the window. Excellent play on his part, great movement. He did some good shifting in that fight, and I definitely got outgunned. Now comes a critical part of what to do next, is where do I go back to? I don't have a loadout. Snake is in the offices by the boat. I'm going to land up here to get some more loot and possibly some elevation intel. Using the elevation to get information is the quickest way, which we just saw. There is now an enemy down here at Blue House. I give the call out that he's at high, and I get shot from the back. After I give that call out, I get shots from behind, which I'm looking at the directional indicator on my screen, which is that circular compass that's around your character. If you notice, it's showing me the direction of where the fire is coming from. And if you're quick on your feet, you can react to that fire and then return fire. So I'm moving up against the building to minimize how much visibility they have of me, and then I'm returning fire and I'm able to take out that enemy. I'm rotating up the hill, but I'm still listening for the guys that were leaving blue living quarters. I'm replating, making sure I'm reloaded before I push in. Now in this scenario here, there's still a lot of footsteps. There's more than one team here. So we're going to play slow for a moment and get some more information. We don't have a UAV. We don't even have our loadout. It is that much pressure we have not been able to buy. We get our free kill here as he walks into the room. We go ahead and plate up. I still would love an SMG, which I see, and I take shots from the left. So I immediately instinctually escape from that banister and then get down to the lower level. I hear Snake taking shots, so I come up to assist, find this guy right on the backside, and as soon as I reload, I come down to the bottom of the steps. This is where Call of Duty, whether it's multiplayer or Warzone, has one of those things that has constantly bugged me. And if you see right here on the screen, Snake has jumped down to the lower level as he is escaping the upstairs gunfight, and his indicator name is right above an enemy. If you look closely, just behind the ammo box is a guy waiting to take me out, and there's also a booby trap right here on the floor. So I am mid animation, and it's just unfortunate part about the game. You're going to get caught, in the wrong situation. I give out the call out that there's two. Snake does the perfect thing in this scenario. He knocks one and then backs off down the hallway. I have nothing else to do at this time. I'm not screaming. I'm giving him the ability to hear his audio, which is going to be his largest advantage in this situation. This is what I mean about the importance of knowing when to back off in gunfights. He just saw his teammate go down. He doesn't know if there's more than two, and he waits. He goes back and plates, reloads his weapon, and then swings back in for the thirst. Once he thirsts, it reduces that timer, or he could be in the back opening boxes. In this scenario here, this is something that unfortunately a lot of people will go straight to their loadout, but I have no information on that. So I'm going to take the closest building to it and search for a weapon and also gather information first. If I'm going to jump right on the loadout, I could possibly throw the game for somebody that's holding it. I'm checking harbor, making sure that nobody is there waiting to pinch us, and then I'm reassessing whether or not we can get this loadout. Snake's expressed interest in getting the box, so I head over to meet him now with weapons and plates in. We finally, in the end of second zone, are able to get our loadout. We have loadout. It's time to reassess what we can do down here. But this is the part about being the wingman I think is the most critical, is when you are pushing, You need to be in that pinch formation, and once you fall back from that pinch, you need to be assessing what I call security. And at this moment here, Snake has rolled up to trade with my break because I wasn't comfortable with the information. And if you pay close attention, I'm not pushing up to be right in his personal space. I'm letting him take that gunfight, and I'm watching that security of the 3 other passageways that are that could come up behind my teammate and take him out. Now, if he were to go down, I could move up to assist or reset the gunfight and work on getting him back in. I hear those footsteps. It sounds like they're moving away as well, and we're going to take that lower exit out of factory. Now that we've pushed up towards harbor, I hear one on the bottom. I call out to Snake. We got one dropped. And it's time to get more information. As I'm buying the UAV, I hear footsteps above. Snake instinctually throws the PA, takes care of the guy upstairs. He wants to know how it happened, and if you guys are not aware, airstrikes move horizontally along the path that you actually see on your minimap. So if you're standing by the window on the side of this building and the direction of the arrows is blowing that explosive in through the window, it's going to take you out, and that's why you sometimes randomly die in open areas that don't make sense. This also works on skylights and open doorways, so be very, very careful when you see precision airstreaks. Trying to move out safely towards all of these dots over here, and it's not going to work. So Snake has another precision airstreak, which he purchased after using the first one back at Harbor, which was high IQ because we need it to get out of here. Now, if you notice how we're getting away from this bad location is I'm taking the water and he's going uphill. And the reason we're splitting like that is for the exact same reason as we don't want to be in the same vicinity of a team fire. In the open, he is highly vulnerable. I'm going to take the long and slow route to make sure that I have the backup by the buy station. I'm checking on him as I'm going through because I can also give suppressive fire floating at the surface with an automatic weapon, which a lot of people still don't realize that you can use your loadout guns as long as you're on the surface. Now, if you look up at the window here, I see the guy peeking out, and I decided the best thing to do is to keep pushing and not engage because he has the advantage. So I'm going to stim up the steps, and I get around the banister here and get to safety by plating up and then immediately rechalling that door. I don't push outside the door because I don't know how many are in there. He peeks, he gets over curious, and it ends up biting him in the butt. This is what I think is so important about this wingman system. If you notice right here where Snake is looking, he is looking at the top of this ladder, which means he is fully exposed from his right side. He does not need my help to take out that kill up top, and he knows that he can exit back towards me. I'm going to pull that security and immediately look to the right. And sure enough, I can pull back into the room using the same tactic that we used on the opposite side of the same POI and then take out that kill. Notice as soon as I'm out of that firefight, Snake is back on that position to hold any avenging teammates that he had. This is the wingman system that I think is so critical. In fact, in order to execute this, you need to be sending this type of content to the people on your team that you are trying to execute these with. You don't have to be in duos to do these types of tactics. They can be normal trades, normal pinches, and normal security that you can be doing in a quad, a trio, or a duo. So now it's time to get more information. Snake gives the call out that someone's climbing up the ladder. We go out to pinch. He actually did a buyback, but Snake took care of it. Now we need information. So we start off with the cluster strike, and then Snake puts up the UAV. As soon as he does, I see critical pieces of information. We have people low on the minimap, and I give the call out that he is there. He pulls off towards tunnel, and I make sure that I give him that information. I also see one straggling dot behind the backside where the shed was. I want to clear out that so that I don't get pinched from behind. We go ahead and give him some encouragement to do so, and then we move with the zone pull towards the tunnel. Now we're still holding the dot that was on the roof, which was the ladder that Snake heard before. I don't trust that, and the worst thing you could be doing is both hard focusing on the end of this tunnel, and you'll see how that pans out here in just a second. I'm making sure that at the very last minute there's no enemies. Here's where I make a mistake, and I definitely get too excited taking opening shots. We have 4 on the mini-map, so now we have to back off because I've given away our position. That is a big no-no on my part. I should not have shot. So we're going to use the cover to our advantage because they have to pull in the direction that we are, and they're likely going to use the protection of tunnel. They have 4, we have 2, so we need to play as protected as possible in case 4 guys come barging through this door. Snake has his booby traps. I'm using that cluster streak for anybody who is sliding with the circle above us, and we take out both. Snake takes shots behind. I immediately switch weapons, and we take out the 3rd. What I didn't account for was the 4th guy directly behind. Now, in this particular moment, if I had stayed where I was and tried to follow Snake, we would have both died through collateral damage. So I moved off to the right, and I'm holding that enemy push from the backside. I am no longer going to be in this game. It is all up to Sneaky Snake, who, if you look on the far side of the screen, has a self-revive. And I'm able to hold that guy in the tunnel while Snake is able to finish his self-revive. And as you can see from the kill cam, there was also that enemy from above that was able to pinch and actually take us out. So he actually does a job here to hold that other guy in tunnel, and now we are in a 1v5 scenario in the end game. This is where Sneaky Snake really shines. The callouts come from above that he's down there. He is severely outnumbered. He's going to play the circle pull, his position, and he's going to be patient. He's going to take out enemies systematically by using cover, using stims, and setting down the perimeter of those booby traps. Not moving out into the open, not worried about the gas at the moment because of the stim shots. He also has a muni box. It's down to a 1v1. He plates up with the stim and takes educated shots based on where the last circle was and takes him out. If you guys want to start working like this as a team and learn to play Outnumbered, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and send this to your teammates. We do content like this all the time. We are constantly trying to improve our gameplay both as a team and as individuals. Keep building. Keep adapting. Sitrep out.